A boy child in Karamoja sub-region looks after livestock, while girls are a source of wealth for their family as they are married off in exchange for animals.
In Karamoja, no family can send all the children to school. Yes, a good number can, a person can say, if I have 4 women or 5 women, I can say I'm sending two per family to go to school, or one per family.
Taking care of goats, taking care of calves, then later on graduate to looking after cows.
In Karamoja sub-region, boy shepherds at the age of 4 and above attend to crows and grazing fields, which compromises their right to education. 10-year-old Daniel Pulkol is a resident of Matani sub-county in Napak. He has lived in cattle camps all his life.
Have you ever gone to any school?
They search for water and pasture for their animals. Some children went in the group of 2 to 3, aged between 4 and 8 years, while others were 15 and above. These boys between 4 to 15 years are in charge of over 50 animals. They prefer being shepherds than going to school.
But you're giving me 50 cows to look after. It means you're giving me 50 million. You're entrusting a 5-year-old, 8-year-old or 10-year-old with 50 million on a daily, while for you, you're doing your other non-developmental activities. So it trickles down to the irresponsibility and a mindset issue, and we want to put it out to the parents.
While in the bush, shepherds have to be vigilant in case enemies come to attack.
In their night, the lion is a camel taking these animals, and the hyenas come, and so we were rubbing shoulders with these wild animals. It was a tough thing. So the shepherd is always suffered.
Come and grab your animals. That's why you are supposed to be keeping them properly. You should also try to see who's coming to your animals. You should be the one keeping the animal properly, because if they come, and if they come abruptly minus get your information, then they will kill you even. One, they can even kidnap you and take you together with your cows until when it is dark. Then they can either leave you or they kill you.
There is no resistance created when the child is in the kraal. When maybe the warriors, the rogue elements come in and they find the young children, they don't find any elderly persons there, they are easily taken over. And the children do not report on time because first of all.
But how do shepherds feed in the cattle camp?
For today's there is even little milk, so that you're just eating. But good enough, there were fruits which we could eat from trees. Those days there were very many wild fruits. Right now the wild fruits are also disappearing. Maybe the population has increased. And there were roots also we could drink, we could eat roots and so on, blood, all these things.
The journey is long, but by around 3 p.m., shepherds return from grazing fields. Fire is set as they prepare for the night. Children sleep in the cold with fire in the middle for warmth. The suka, locally known as nakatuko, is used to wrap during daytime and as bedsheet at night.
When it comes, you just go under a tree. You stand by the tree like this. On the other opposite side, if the wind is going that way, you stand on the other side until the rain ends. Oh, those of them who kept the cows are the bulls. The bulls, they had made them into their friends. So you just caress the belly of the thing when it is raining, and when it raises its tail and doesn't move, you are inside, you are under it. When the rain is over, you come out of your umbrella.
Most of these young shepherds are sons of rich people.
Rich homes, you find somebody that has 200, 100 cows, 50 cows. 50 cows about 50 million. And many areas where we come from, very few people own more than 5 cows. So these children are removed from school in order to herd the cows.
According to leaders in Karamoja, children learn bad things while grazing.
In the kraal is a tough life. where you are actually taught to be tough and difficult.
Going for cattle riding, cattle rustling, they pick up the culture, and it's difficult to change them. The mission
Shoot, you know how to handle a gun, and so on, or a spear or arrows, making arrows, poisoning them, poisoning the sharp parts, and so on. All these things we learn. That's a big school.
So there is need for people in Karamoja to change mindset.
change is a big factor. We shouldn't leave the NGOs to man primary education because Karamoja requires affirmative action.
The responsibility of looking after cattle is supposed to be borne by the parent, not the child.
The parents, the entire clan should be in love and should embrace education. People should stop looking at cows as the only source of survival in Karamoja.
What are districts doing to end this vice?
We've come up with an ordinance that ensures that all children of school-going age are supposed to be in school.
Leaders explain challenges they face while fighting the culture.
Picking up children in the grazing fields, bringing them to school, but after 2 weeks, already the law enforcers were getting fatigued. They could not continue with their work. Meanwhile, also from the schools, the teachers could not keep these children because they were lacking basic scholastic materials, even issues to do with the feeding and many other.
Arrested some children to go to school, but they come to school 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they are withdrawn by the very parents.
Amdat District Chairperson Joseph Nangole Lobot says collective efforts are needed among all government stakeholders.
Call from the law enforcers that ensure that your support is felt in terms of bringing these children to school, because enforcing the ordinances, enforcing the bylaws that are in place requires joint effort.
As the Bishop of Karamoja Diocese, Joseph Abura, and other leaders say there is need to break the doctrine of informal education. The leadership is advocating for compulsory, forceful, and completely free education of UPE and USE.
Must break that informal education and come for formal.
All the schools, the primary schools, provide boarding facilities for these children. This is the only way we can keep them and cut them from recruiting into warriorhood.
Elements like uniforms, government could provide for them, and thirdly, government, since most of our children are boarders, government could cater for the feeding system in all these schools. That is what could be called free education.
We can have many primary schools first, and then after that we have secondary schools, and then what I say tertiary institutions. I've always spent this.
I'm BENON MUKWAYA with Maureen Iga.